Welcome to Manifestation Mondays with Marcy. It's where we talk about all things connected to manifestation, and today we're going to be talking about something that's quite unusual. I, of course, am Marcy Newman, your Heart Shift coach and the host of this program. Now, what is this unusual aspect of manifestation that I want to talk about? I want to talk about manifesting when you are not up to par with your physical, mental, or emotional state. You know, very often we just tend to think that we can put all of our focused energy into manifesting what it is that we want to experience, and that we can do this from a compromised state. And what I want you to know is that when you attempt to do that, you are actually attempting to extract energy or utilize energy from a source that doesn't have the potential to support you. So I'm saying this because it's actually something that I've experienced myself, where particularly I was in a situation knowing that I wanted to manifest my presence in a certain way, but I was overtired, had not eaten, was probably dehydrated, and was not in a mental state or an emotional state where I could be fully present. Now, needless to say, if you were looking at a bank account, for instance, and wanted to buy a mansion, and you had very little funds, you would look at that account and say, well, that's not going to do it. And what I want to invite you to do is to start to make an assessment of yourself before you begin a project, particularly a manifestation project that is one that is clearly coming from your heart. Your heart's desires are your guidance. It's your inner guidance to your happiness. And of course, also they're connected to your own purpose, opening up in a brand new way. So if we're not giving it the energy that it not only deserves but requires, then we don't have a chance of bringing it to life in the way that it's really meant to. And so I want to really invite you to start to pay attention to how you feel before you are going into a manifestation. And again, this can just be you wanting to show up to something in your own life in a particular way. I'm certain, like me, you want to be at your best self whenever you can. And particularly if that is very important for you. And so this focus on making certain that you're taking care of yourself, making certain that you're getting enough rest, getting good food to eat, and are well hydrated, are in environments that are nurturing and nourishing to your spirit. Now what you're doing is you are giving the project that you are focusing in on everything that it needs in order to really come to fruition. This, I think, is also something that we rarely think about, particularly if we're looking to manifest health or manifest emotional well-being. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, how can you manifest that if you're in such a dire state? Number one, it's a really good question, because it would seem that it would be contrary to our ability to do that. And yet, what we know is that wherever we put our focus, we will see expansion. And so the truth of the matter is, if we are tapping into what will bring us back into alignment physically, what will bring us back into alignment emotionally and psychologically. And we are giving ourselves those things that we need in order to do that. Then what happens is, as that energy expands through us, it then prepares us to show up for that manifestation in a completely different way. So I don't want you to think that if you're in a less than optimal state that you'll never manifest what you want. You are a creator. You have the capability to manifest anything, everything that you want. However, I want you just to be cognizant that taking an assessment of yourself, it's what I call spiritual accountability. And by the way, if you go to selfloveuniversity.com, you will find that there's really an incredible digital program that I've created on spiritual accountability that's accessible to you there. But this, as I said, is what I call spiritual accountability, and I'm recognizing how essential this is. And yes, even assessing your physical condition is part of spiritual accountability, because you are first and foremost a spirit. So your body, your mind is all meant to serve you. And so if it's meant to serve you as a creator, we have to make certain that we're at the very best that we can be in that moment. Now, if you are living with some physical compromises, some emotional compromises, mental compromises, it's still such a good idea to take an accounting and ask yourself, can I be a greater version of myself right now? This is what we're always really on a quest for. It's how can I be a greater version of my truth? How can I be a greater version of myself? I mean, I know that you've heard, the old adage that, misery loves company. And a lot of times we get caught up in pity parties, don't we? Or we do let ourselves get run down, as I have. Or we let ourselves, drift off into being distracted and putting our focused energy in places that we certainly don't want to see more of. And yet there we are calling it in inadvertently. So this is really a call to you to do this assessment, be spiritually accountable so that you can be more and more aware and available. Actually create a foundation for your manifestation project that has the ability to take you all the way, to sustain you, and for it to build out from there. So I'm going to leave that with you. And with that, I'd also like to leave you an affirmation. Here it is. I am a magnificent, divine creator, a spirit of love and light. As such, this body, this mind, is in service to it. I am all that is, and I am capable of creating all that my heart desires, all that is for the highest good of all. So with that, please leave your comments below, like this video if you do, and again, please share it. We are creating community here, and it's community of like minds and like hearts, and acknowledging that indeed each and every one of us is a powerful creator, and we are spirit incarnate first and foremost. Okay? So much love to you, and I'll see you back here again next week. Bye-bye now.